So let's be honest, because we can keep it real with each other. Your 9 to 5 job will let you down. It's just not enough anymore. I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow, but I don't want to be the one that had to break it to you, but it's the truth. The personal economy of the middle class, those in the middle class, is literally falling apart. And it's falling apart for a reason. It's all by design. It is falling apart all by design because the goal is to keep the middle class down, to keep them working and keep them in a position of slavery or servitude. Person can work, they throw you some money so you can have money to pay some of your bills, but not all of your bills, in case you haven't noticed. And that's why you always hear this mantra, this theme, that a job means nothing more than just over broke. And this is becoming a recurring theme because the harder you work, have you noticed? The harder you work, the less you get ahead. And so you have to starting to think and reason, okay, what direction am I going to take? How is this going to continue to work for me and my family? But just having a job is not going to do it for you anymore. And it's really a sad reality, but it's the truth. One of the things a person has to look at is what is happening in their future. If you're not a high income earner, then this is something you want to consider. And this is absolutely the video for you. Now, we have a situation where we have a new administration coming in, and they are saying that there will be tariffs, 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 and more tariffs. Tariffs on China, tariffs on Mexico, tariffs on Canada. And so, with these tariffs come large raises in the prices of goods and the support services around those goods. The tariffs are designed to make it harder for those in the international community to import things here. Um, but if there is some demand here, people are going to have to pay a higher price for that. But overall, it's going to increase the prices of goods in the economy. And so tariffs going up is going to make it harder for your job to compete with that, to keep pace with that. Inflation is continuing to go up. We just had that burning hot jobs report where more jobs got added to the economy. You know why more jobs need to be added to the economy? Because they need more people. And that usually means people are spending money. They need people to service the people spending money. That's not good. That's not good, guys. That's not good. That means inflation is going up. And so your job will not be able to keep pace with that. With inflation going up, that means that interest rates will go up. Why? Because the Federal Reserve always raises interest rates in order to tamp down inflation. That's one tool, or just one of the few tools that they have to get inflation under control. Inflation has really, really, really hurt the economy in the last 2 years. And now it is really hurting people in their ability to um, keep pace with their jobs. It's just becoming very, very hard for them to be able to try to make ends meet now with everything going up. I'll give you an example too. Inflation is working against people even with other unforeseen um, unfortunate circumstances coming into effect. So, like, take for instance the bird flu. The bird flu has now come back into the news. That's causing the price of chickens to go up. They've already had to exterminate a large amount of chickens, so the available chickens left are causing the price of chickens to go up to eat and eggs going up. Now this is why, we have $10 chickens and $6 eggs. You can see how that's not going to be sustainable for somebody in the middle class with a job, working a regular 9 to 5 job. It's just not going to happen for them. And it's going to cause their economy, their personal economy, to fall apart as this inflation continues to rise. And so that means what? When inflation goes up, interest rates go up, that means it's harder to pay off debt, specifically consumer debt, credit card debt, because those interest rates go up too. You're not talking about 12, 13, 15% interest. Now you're talking about 22, 25, 27, 29% interest. That means it is going to make it harder for you to pay off just basic things that you need to buy with your credit cards. Things that, you would, probably pay $200 less for in interest or $400 less for an interest just a few years ago, you're going to have to pay that now. Remember, the debt has risen by 77%. Most people's debt from 2019 through to 2024. So 77% versus the increase in people's wage growth of 19% during the same time period. You see the disparity? Do you see the disparity in that? 77% versus 19%? There's no way you're going to keep up. And what even add more insult to injury is that's just your credit card debt. Then around on top of that, interest rates are going up to buy houses. That means that it's going to be harder to buy a house if you're able to buy a house at all. And if you are able to buy a house, your mortgage payment is going to be higher than normal. Well, higher than it's really ever been. I shouldn't say higher than normal because these times aren't normal. So higher than it's really ever been. I mentioned it before. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me that she's in the mortgage business, and she was saying how there were people that are making like $60,000 a year. That's an average salary for a middle income person, $60,000 a year, and they were trying to buy a $300,000 house because there are no houses that are cheaper, pretty much. Um, and especially with the median household or median house being $400,000, trying to find a house at around $290,000, $300,000, and the interest rate was still going to be close to 7%. You know what they made the mortgage? They made the mortgage like $2,400, $2,500 a month. $2,400, $2,500 a month, and they still had to roll insurance and stuff in. That's the other thing. Insurance is out of control. Insurance in this country now is going to be a whole epidemic. It's going to be a whole epidemic because now with the wildfires out west and the hurricanes down in the south, the insurance companies are going to spread all that risk around and everybody's going to have to pay higher premiums to support and refill the coffers that the insurance companies are going to have to use to pay for these damages. Sure, the insurance companies got a lot of money and they're going to have to pony it up and, they're going to cough it up and spend it on these people who got claims. But guess what? You better believe they're going to pass on the cost to us. They are not going to do something like that and then not be able to make a profit off of it. You can absolutely forget it. So, as you can see, the pattern is the same. That it's going to be more and more difficult for a person who is having a 9 to 5 job to keep up. They just won't be able to compete. High insurance, high interest rate on houses, on homes, debt, inflation, tariffs. It's just it's just going to be unbearable for somebody who is in the middle class, even if they're kind of quasi doing okay in the middle class as far as having would be considered a decent middle class salary. It's going to be hard for them to keep up. And so now's the time. Now's the time to seize the opportunity um, while things are a little easier. I mean, we just had this big jobs report come in and um, drop the market. And so that's created some opportunity in the market. First thing you have to do is you have to seize on learning a new skill. Adding a new skill to your wheelhouse of knowledge is going to help you add additional revenue, additional income to your household. So, increasing your skills, like anybody learning anything related to sales, learning sales, learning AI, uh, learning to work in social media, learning cybersecurity or computer engineering in any way. Um, these are jobs that usually don't require big degrees nowadays, especially cybersecurity and computer work doesn't you don't really need big degrees like you did in the past. Now you can take classes for that. Those things are high paying positions that will add revenue or income to your household income. I mean, it will really boost your bottom line. So you're going to have to add skills, re-skills. That's going to really help you to bring some extra money into the house. Also, because um, of the dropping, um, the market dropping now because of the scare from the high interest rates, there's an opportunity to invest. Investing in the stock market, um, in blue chip companies, companies that mimic the Fortune 500, or just your big companies, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, Tesla. All of these companies are companies that are going to help you to keep pace with the inflation that's going on because they benefit from the inflation. As people continue to spend, people continue to buy cars, they continue to buy stuff that Amazon delivers, they continue to use the internet like Google, they continue to go on cruises, they continue to do all these things, going to Disney and all that stuff. These companies are raking in major record breaking profits. And as a owner in these companies, as an investor in these companies, you benefit. You benefit, and that helps bring income into your household. It brings more revenue into your family's household or the bottom line. So you are able to keep pace with inflation. Inflation goes up, so do those companies' profits, and you are a beneficiary as an investor. Also, paying off debt. Paying off debt is a big thing. That is going to be a way to increase your income because you're putting money back into your pocket. You want to put money back into your pocket so that you can invest it, so that you are not uh, a slave to somebody who's draining your pockets every month. Because if you on the wrong side of the equation and you have more debt than you have investments, now guess what you're working for? You're literally working to fund someone else's lifestyle and send them on vacation and put their kids through private school and college. That's literally what you're doing. You are putting other people's families on, sending them on vacation and putting their kids through the best schools and sending them to the best colleges. Because the people who either own the debt or are investors in the debt make money off you. Remember now, we keeping it real with each other. We just keeping it real. This is just an open dialogue. We keeping it real with each other. So I'm saying it straight like this because it is what it is. I don't want you or me or anybody in our community, friends or family, to be put in this situation. We want the investment side, the asset side to be higher than the debt side. Because remember, we're talking about our 9 to 5 job, just regular people. We don't want it so that, at least I don't want this for you. I don't want this for anybody in our community that they're working and they're working literally for naught, for nothing, because all their money is going away out of their pocket to pay for debt. It's bad enough that we already got to deal with high interest rates and inflation. So it's better to pay that stuff off now, get it out of the way, and guess what that does? That adds money back to your bottom line. It puts money back into your household income. And guess what? That allows you to be able to invest in assets that will help you and your family out. So think about that. Think about that. You need to take advantage of these investment opportunities while you can. And by investing, you bring more income into your household. And guess what? You'll be able to help your family. You'll be able to help your friends, not someone taking the money away from you. So we're going to continue to talk about this and have this conversation. And we're going to always keep it real with each other. We're going to share with each other how we can best use our money to invest and ways that we can stay out of debt, ways that we can, if you are in debt, pay your debt off faster so that your your money can be used to benefit you and your household and not someone else's. So drop comments down in the comment section. We always enjoy having an open dialogue, having fun talking with each other, and getting ideas from each other to inspire us on our financial journey. And if you like this video, check out the next video that's coming up about how you can deal with this recession that's already starting to happen. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.